Alrighty, welcome to episode 1 of Sam Barnes Questions Everything. I thought it was only fitting to sit down with my good friend Ryan Dizzle whilst we were in Bali on our first getaway since he started his new business, Airbnb Management Gold Coast. A little bit of context, I am part owner and involved in the marketing side. However, Ryan is operations manager, and we kind of just discussed how to start an Airbnb management business. Hope you enjoy it. And here we are.
Here we are. Do you have questions prepared?
Yeah, I've got questions. So my thing is literally going to just go the main question, which is how do you start an Airbnb management business? But also going to kind of like talk about like 2 years ago, do you think you would have been at this level this quickly?
I guess we go back to moving to the Gold Coast, really. The start. Moved to the Goldie, was a plumber. Slaved away one summer on the roof. I basically thought there's no way I can do this ever again if I want to stay here. I reckon I came up with a few wacky ideas, and then
What
I
else
feel
were you-
like
hang
I
on,
feel
what
like
else were you going to do?
when I first moved here,
Yeah, what other wacky
other ideas. I don't know. I went into the crazy world of looking at drop shipping.
Oh, really? You watch those courses and
Yeah,
shit?
all that kind of stuff that you're either everything or nothing in that. I reckon the first time I came up with the short-term rental idea was I came to you. It might have been at the pub drinking beers.
Palmer night.
Night.
Still remember.
Palmer night. And because I already had my one in Mornington that was being managed poorly, I got rid of them, was doing it myself and getting better reviews, making more money from 2,000 kilometres away than a company was with 500 online reviews and had been in the industry for 10 years. I thought,
How hard can it be?
if I can do it better than these jokers, maybe I can do a couple up here.
Yeah. No, you originally wanted to try to do them in
Oh
Vic.
yeah, I wanted to do it in Melbourne alone.
Yeah.
I was like, I know the Melbourne vibe, scene, the market, and then you said, if you're here,
Yeah.
you want to be doing it here.
Yeah, because when you were saying, I want to do more short-term rentals down in Vic, but still live up here, I'm like, sounds like you're just about to move back to Vic. That was what I kind of thought.
I think I was at one point.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle working on a roof every day in Queensland for 8 hours a day for someone I hated and a job that I didn't really love. I also did that for,
Yeah, you juggled the both of them.
I was doing both at once for 6 months, working 8-hour days on a roof, then coming home and then napping between 4 and 5, and then waking up at 5, and I was on the laptop until midnight, 1 a.m, and then I'd wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. and go to work and do that 5 days a week.
How many did you get to before you left roofing?
It was probably somewhere around 12.
So managing properties.
Yeah, between 12 and 15.
And did the owners know that you were roofing?
Nah, owners would call me and I'd be on the roof using like a power drill and have to tell everyone to shut up while I took a phone call. I'd be like, guys, hold up for a second. And I'd take a call from a client, be like, oh yeah, I'm actually just in a meeting now. Can I give you a call back in a couple of hours?
Now,
And
Ryan,
I would
wait
always
just a
call
minute.
back at 3 p.m.
Who was the first that you got over the line? Do you remember?
Currumbin Sands.
Then how did we get him?
I basically he'd just bought it, didn't live on the Gold Coast. He liked the fact that I lived a
Right
kilometre
nearby.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what caused the first signature, but it was
So that
more,
was him. And
yeah,
then
it was him.
pretty
And
quickly after, you like once you got one in the bag, you're like, this can be done.
I reckon I did 10 meetings before I got one. My first 2 meetings, I walked in with like a
bare feet.
button-up shirt. No, I went too formal. I went there,
Button-up
button-up shirt, like suit shoes, slacks. and I felt like an idiot. When I started dressing down and
Being more cash.
and being me is
Yeah.
when I got heaps in a row.
Yeah.
I felt comfortable.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing that I've really noticed, because I was like, should fake it till we make it, more looking at how it, it's obviously not for the super cruisy kind of vibe is not for everyone, but
Yeah.
there is a lot of people that just appreciate like a chill dude that's easy to get along on with.
I got to a point where I would see how far I could take my relaxedness. One
Please
meeting,
don't tell me this, actually.
one meeting I went to with thongs on, and I still got it, and was like, "Fuck, maybe next time I'm gonna go with no shirt on and see if I can still get it."
Don't do that, and that is not advice for someone else watching this. Okay, so mint, and now how many have you got?
30, between 30 and 35. It kind of fluctuates between there now, because we get some coming on, some that only do 6-month periods that are coming off. We've never had anyone leave that isn't happy. We sit between 30 and 35.
Never had anyone leave that wasn't happy.
No one said they can make more money on the long-term market, and no one said they're not happy with our service and they've chosen another provider. But we have taken some off others that haven't been happy from other providers.
Yeah. So how long has it been since that fateful conversation in the pub where you ran it by me? And by the way, I'm the biggest yes man. Every friend of mine that comes to me with a business idea, I'm like, yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But
It would have been 2 years from now, because when I was in
years.
Bali, it was May when I was in Bali for my birthday, like just under 2 years ago, was when we were signing the documents that Anna sent through. So it would have been like a month prior to that we spoke about it.
So pretty much 2 years.
So it would have been April.
35 listings.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
And it's been bringing around 35 for 6 months pretty much.
And we didn't get our first for a good 6 months, because we spent 6 months setting up the company,
Yeah, right.
getting the trust, like all that kind of stuff.
So it's kind of
So
like,
really, it's like
it's like a year really.
12 to 18 months of actually hustling to get properties.
What next? We're now in Bali, enjoying the fruits of our labour.
I want to rent to list, rent to rent, rental arbitrage.
Rental
I feel
arbitrage.
like now that there's money in the bank, you can upfront bond a month's rent, spend 10 grand kitting out the place. I feel like that's probably the next major step in earning more money.
Yeah, 100%. But it's kind of a different beast, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's getting the deal. It's
Getting the deal and
convincing someone
convincing someone.
that only wants to rent full time that their place is going to have multiple people in it.
And you've done a bit of research, because there's a few guys out there that do a lot of...
Yeah, essentially you just have to pitch that. It's similar to what I pitch when people are considering full-term rental, and I try to get them on to our books, is it gets professionally cleaned between 50 and 70 times a year, because you get every single weekend booked and then some week during the week as well. So you're getting 50 professional cleans, as opposed to if someone's in there for a full year and they have 4 inspections.
Right.
It gets cleaned 4 times.
But how do
sometimes.
you convince someone, because they're obviously going to sniff it out, that it's even profitable for you. So if they sniff that out, how do you convince them best to just let you do it than them then go away and go, well, actually, I'll just short-term rent it myself?
That's the $1 million question, I think. How to stop someone from just thinking, well, if you're going to make money, why can't I make money?
Well, I think, no, like, I probably know kind of the answer, where like some people just don't want to deal with the headaches of it all, even if it was someone like a company managing it, where they just don't want to know about it all, you know what
Some
I mean?
people are investors from interstate, international,
It's just numbers.
and yeah, I still have to speak to those clients, even though they live in Seattle, Colorado and Dubai. I've still got to speak to them about some stuff. Some people just can't be bothered with that at all, and they just want to know that they're getting money each week. Yeah, getting a return, really.
So that's the next step. We have kind of spoken about trying to get more of the good listings and less of the bad. Can you like define what's a good listing and what's a bad?
Pretty much all comes down to maintenance.
Yeah.
If you've got a property that's 30 plus years old and has bad plumbing. You got blocked toilets all the time. You got tree roots coming into, your sewage. Forever calling maintenance people. Your wiring can be shitty. And then, your apartments in new buildings, the brand new ones are under warranty for 18 months. So anything that goes wrong in a new building is fixed within as fast as it can get done, and it's free. And even new ones are a little bit older. They're still not too old where all my maintenance trades can basically come in and fix it pretty quick. I think it's about now. When I first did it, I was just going to properties and taking them on.
Taking anything. Yeah.
Now when I go to them, I think of that stuff.
Yeah.
I look outside. If there's huge ass trees that back right onto the bathroom, I think about how many times am I going to get that line jetted out in the next 12 months. So they're all the things you kind of learn as you go.
If you were talking to yourself 2 years ago, first of all, would you be like, do this? Like, do you think it's been worth it? Because
it has now.
I hear some of the stresses of it all.
It has now, but there's times where there's fucking times where I think about putting that tool belt back on.
It's all just problems that need to be solved and systems in my mind. Like
starting, you don't know any problems that are coming.
You don't know what you don't know. Well, this is why you're talking to yourself 2 years ago, man.
Yeah,
or if someone else is listening that's like thinking about doing it.
If everyone knew every single problem that was coming, everyone would just do it. I think it divides the people from doing it and not doing it. Taking the risk and seeing the problems as they come and having to pretty much everything that steps in the way, you got to avoid that from happening again. If you do that over and over again, you just get no more problems, really.
So like almost a problem list. If you could give yourself from 2 years ago a problem list and be like, these are the problems that are going to come your way that you're going to have to...
Essentially, yeah. If I had that, I'd pay $20,000 for that list. Right. 2 years ago.
Yeah, and set up for it. So originally when we spoke about doing this little chat, we were going to talk about all of the stories, but I think we maybe come back to some of those stories.
I'll make a list. There's stories that I know that I don't think about often because I've erased them completely from my memory because of how traumatic, but I'll make a list and I'll come up with some real rippers.
You haven't quit. It's 2 years in, 35 listings. We can book this Bali trip a week before, and you have been working every day, obviously. But
I've been working every day, but this is the first time I've left home and the company's been functional without me. Like I remember going to Byron for a few days. I went to Yamba for a few days, and I can't quite remember what happened, but I had to leave a day early. And then my wedding in Byron was gone for a week. And I remember a few things happened then. I went back to Melbourne last Christmas. Like this is the first time we've left and I've had everything in place where it's run smoothly.
Eventually, yeah, you've got other people. Like it's not just you that is, and I think this is probably the next step is removing yourself from the business, not completely, but like, so it's not just Ryan, like there's other
giving yourself enough distance to build, because it's hard to build a company when you're on the inside and you're doing all these like little jobs that take time that don't make you any money. You
get stuck working in the business, not on the business.
Yeah, you gotta.
It's so easy to say from the outside, like, oh, you need to stop doing that and work on the business, but then
the business crumbles when you stop working.
Who actually does it? But yeah. I think that's that hump that you got to get over with, like, almost going back to plumbing, or if you just got over that hump and like put a few people in those places, or at least a few systems, start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, don't you? I think it's just starting to see the light.
I think I'm just starting to be able to relax. Jill now knows the company probably as well as I do. The communications team is taking over. All guests that are constantly asking how to turn on a TV when it's in our guest book. And then Jill deals with clients as well. She runs the emails. It's the first time where I've delegated all the intricate tasks that waste enough time for me not to be able to go out and build.
So while we're here, we get some free time to work on a bunch of different things. Try to, like in my mind, it's to try to create a bit of a point of difference, because there is a bit of competition out there, but also to try to make more per booking. You know, I think we've got the plan, now we just need to execute on it. But it's kind of similar to what we were just saying, where like it's all well and good to say, but then to actually implement it.
Yeah, I think it's creating a more enjoyable experience for the guest.
Mm.
Like our reviews are high. We sit at like a 4.8 over 400 reviews. I think we've spoken about adding extras in for guests, like instead of those garbage single-use soaps and stuff, getting nice like pump bottles with good organic quality conditioners and stuff, and like, you know, adding in, like, you know, when we checked in here, we've got a tote bag for free that we can take and go buy stuff and chuck it in.
True.
A lot of things in here are labelled jellyfish, and I think labelling things is probably...
jellyfish villas in Bali.
I think labelling things is
spot.
probably a good start, and like having nice little extras that people look at and they're like, oh, that was cool. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. Just like free hampers. So people walk in, you get a bottle, like you can buy a crate of wine. Each bottle will cost you $7. And you can give out a bottle of wine, maybe with a block of chocolate when they walk in the door. A little welcome card that has our logo and a photo on it that says thanks for staying.
Welcome card.
I don't know, things that people don't expect, that instead of sitting at a 4.8, we could be sitting at a 4.95.
So they're all of the guest experience things. I guess I'm greedy. I'm like, okay, how do we make more money out of these people?
The more money out of the guests,
Yep.
upselling.
Yeah, well, upselling, but giving them what they're coming for anyway. That's kind of my thought. It's like people coming on holidays, they're coming to do things, they're coming to have experiences, they're coming to spend money.
Yeah.
And if we can make the guest experience easier, where, you know, people are lazy these days, if you can bring something to them, then it's win-win.
Like beach packages,
Beach packages,
buggies,
e-bikes,
and
car hire, baby cots.
an all-in-one package where someone books and then they're taken to somewhere where they can get everything extra without having to get off the plane, go pick up a high chair, go get a porta cot for their child. Just make it one seamless experience where they can pay for everything in one spot, and essentially it's more money in our pocket and it's a better experience for a guest as well.
100%. Then you don't need to have more and more and more listings. Average kind of booking value goes up.
Yeah, if you're making another, 15% of your profit is from upsells, late checkouts and early check-ins, it can replace having another 5 listings.
Yeah. Early check-in, the charging for the early and late check-ins, does that ever damage the rankings?
Nah, because we make it seem like we're paying for it. If someone wants an early check-in and there's no booking, there's no checkout that day, I say things like, oh, we've got someone checking out at 11, I can get an extra cleaner there and have it ready for you at 12:30, but that's going to cost me an extra $60. Cleaner's going to charge me an extra $60, to get someone out there.
True, so put the blame on someone else.
Yeah, they pay for the early check-in, but the place had been ready 48 hours ago.
Yeah, just
same with,
hope the guests never watch this.
The same with late checkouts. Like I'll say things like, oh, they want to check out at 2, the next check-in is 3. I'm like, oh, I've actually spoken to the next guest and their flight's been delayed and I can get cleaners in between you and 5:30, but it'll cost me an extra $60. So it doesn't seem like we're just charging them to leave later.
Giving away your secrets, you should sell a course.
Airbnb for dummies.
Diz's diary.
Diz's diaries.
But obviously you do tell me a lot of the problems sometimes, and you do seem pretty frustrated, but then other times, like today, you've just been you were just eating some mad sushi.
I went to Japanese for lunch.
On the laptop for how long? Like 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, I spent between 2 and 2.5 hours on the laptop, speaking with Jill, replying to potential clients. We got a new listing today. I went out, ate raw fish at a Japanese restaurant and got a new listing at the same time.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
You know what I mean? You got to sit down and go, this is cool.
Yeah.
You can't, I know that you make good money on a daily kind of wage roofing, but
can't do this.
Can't be doing a roof from here. Obviously, you know, like
There's some pretty shitty roofs here. You probably could, but
well, you wouldn't be making the money that you were making. That's for damn sure.
$14 a day.
Like, obviously, you could have started a roofing business and potentially been over here, but even that, I would say, has its stresses. You know what I mean? Like, a roof gets ordered in the wrong colour because of got the colour wrong. You know what I mean? Like when you get those colour bond.
Yeah,
all business is stressful.
The whole company is online with Airbnb. The only thing that for me it is.
Well, what about when you because you're still doing the maintenance and stuff?
Yeah, but like once that's sorted, once we have a runner, once someone's doing those things that I do if it's an apartment around the corner from where I live and someone says they've locked themselves out, I'll go and let them in. But once we have employees doing that, essentially the whole company on my end is online.
Yeah, can be completely run from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Pretty cool to think about, considering I was on a roof, sweating my ass off 2 years ago, thinking, how am I going to do this for another 6 months?
Another 6 months. Life? What about the rest of your life?
No, I mean, look, when summer started,
oh, true,
I was like, how am I getting through this fucking summer?
Yeah, you were very tanned.
I was very, very tanned and exhausted. I usually nap once a day. During my roofing time in Queensland, I was napping twice a day.
So rent to long-term rent to short-term rent. Anything else? Did you buy your own?
Yeah, I reckon we should build a villa in Bali.
I agree.
We need to speak to your next guest, I think, for that.
Yeah, we're staying in the Jellyfish Villas and meeting some super cool people that own and build and manage villas around here. But it's crazy how much development there is around here. That's what scares me a little bit. Is there too much happening?
It'll oversaturate.
That's what's happened on the Gold Coast a little bit.
Yeah.
Has the returns in the last, since we started, have the appraisals been coming down, or have the returns come down at all? I haven't really looked at the data as much as you. Not really?
Nah. There's more and more coming on every day on the Gold Coast. There's 25,000 short-term rentals on the Gold Coast.
Wow. Sounds like a lot, but then when I look at the SEO, the keyword research of how many people are searching for Gold Coast holidays, and then you look at the destination Gold Coast tourism data, it's millions of people.
Yeah, the tourism is more and more on the Gold Coast every day, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because it's not, unlike Melbourne, when summer you'd absolutely kill it, because the peninsula is a pretty sought after place for summer. The winter it'd be dreadful. I'd go 2 weeks without a booking, whereas the Gold Coast, people from Melbourne and Sydney, they go to the Gold Coast to get away from their winter.
Yeah.
So it's a year-round market, really.
So at this point, do I get to say I told you so?
With what?
With you wanting to do the peninsula.
The Gold Coast, yeah. I probably wouldn't have made it if I had to rely on the seasonability of Melbourne short-term rentals.
Yeah, exactly. So 25,000 short-term rentals, but the average occupancy over all of ours is still sitting at
75.
75?
Yeah.
And then I guess probably what makes all of the owners so happy is how detail oriented you were. That was a bit of a surprise for me as well, where you are
with the setups.
Well, just with things that some other people might just overthink, some of your stories about when you get to a place to do a photo shoot and straight away.
Are you about to bring up the queen sheet that was on a king bed? I feel like you were impressed by that one.
You knew it straight away.
I can walk in a room and be like, that's a queen sheet on a king bed. What are the cleaners fucking doing?
No, I meant more the actual, how well something's going to photo, or
Yeah, our checklist, whenever I give our checklist to clients and they've shopped around and they've spoken to other people, they're like, this is 1,000 times better than what I was given from anyone else. Our things to tick off to have in a property is pretty extensive. Things that you wouldn't, people that have clotheslines, but we're also like, oh, you need a clothes horse for inside. And they're like, oh, but we've got a dryer. I'm like, yeah, but chicks don't like to put their clothes in a dryer because they shrink. Just things like that most people would probably not think about.
Yeah, right. So
that I know a guest is going to say something about that.
Just off the top of your head straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then like the actual listings, like basically it is getting more competitive, and like do you think the way you manage them and everything, you would be in the top tier of occupancy, basically returns, occupancy and nightly rate?
It's a good question. I don't know if you could find that. Oh, I guess you could find that out.
Just guessing, like, there's other companies
We'd be up
that
there.
have been around for 10 years.
Yeah, we'd be up there. I won't say who we've taken properties from, but there's been a couple recently that, because you got to tell clients to give it 6 to 8 weeks to really start getting returns, because you got to start cheap to get your 5-star reviews. You got to get your bookings in. And then once it starts running, I've had clients be like, I'm making an extra 25% with you guys than what I was with the previous company.
Now, what about when owners, because we've got a few that think that they know what the price should be, and they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot, aren't they?
Sometimes they can't be told.
Yeah.
And I do what they ask.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of one right now that
Don't say that now.
they wanted more money per night, and I suggested that you might get bookings for that, but your occupancy is going to be 25% less.
You're actually ending up.
You end up making the same or less money.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah, like this place is worth more than that. Like we've got it. And I was like, all right, we'll do it. I did it, and the occupancy for that month, I reckon we had 5 days booked in that whole month. Oh. She calls me and said, well, we got no bookings. And I said, I know we got no bookings, because I told you you asking for too much money, and I put it up. I was like, if you just let me do what I do best, this is what I specialize in. Like
this is why you've hired me.
The thing that I specialize in the most, I reckon, the company is my pricing. I'm really good at it. And then she gave me back the power to price whatever I wanted. And the next month we're at 75, 80% occupancy. People want to see a number. They want to see $350 a night or $550 a night, but they don't realize that if you take it down to $285 from $350, and you get another 20% occupancy, you're making more than what you would be with $350 anyway. Yeah. Which I understand. People. It's an investment property. Some people need that money coming in every week to
and they probably promised it when they bought it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they get like a snazzy kind of investor kind of pamphlet of what they're going to make.
Yeah, and those
and
things.
And that's the number in their head.
Those things are 50% more than what you can ever get. Always. I've seen some of the ones that go around, and I look at some of the prices that they're told they can get on the short-term rental market, and it's just no way. So that's a lot of people are told that, and they do think they can just get that straight away.
So that's why the appraisal, like, it was my suggestion to start charging people for a unbiased appraisal, because we're getting all these inquiries about people considering an investment, and in my mind, everyone tells them what they want to hear. Like the seller tells them, like who's selling the stuff, but also some of your competitors are like sending them appraisals that are way off just to try to get the deal.
Yeah, I had someone not choose us because their appraisal was
more from someone else.
Yeah, 15% under what someone else came in.
Yeah.
And then I usually check. There's certain properties where I check up on them that I really want them, and if I lose them, I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
So I'll do a follow-up message 2 or 3 months later and be like, how you going? They're like, oh, yeah, we're not really making anywhere near as much as what I thought. And And that's just because they were sold the dream.
Yeah.
They were told, yeah, you can make 100K, but my appraiser said you can only make 75.
But you're data-driven and
Yeah.
logical and...
Mine's off historical data, facts.
Yeah.
Their appraisals are off a motive to get them on board
Yeah.
and tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah, but they're kind of digging themselves a grave, because then you can imagine doing that and then having those as your clients.
Yeah, it's got to turn into bad Google reviews. Like, you know, if a few people write up on their Google page, like, oh, they'll tell you what you want to get the job. Yeah.
Google reviews are so important, aren't they? Like, since you got that really good review recently, and there's been a bunch of others, but there was one lady that wrote a really long, super positive review, and you know, the uptick in inquiries.
Yeah, I reckon after that we've
Getting
had like a 50% jump in inquiries.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, reviews are a lot more important than what people think they are, especially Airbnb reviews. Someone thinks like 4-star is like good.
Yeah.
You know, I'll get a review and the comment would say, had a good time, would come back, 4 stars, because they think that 5
It's like
stars.
a hotel, yeah.
Yeah, they think that 5 stars is like a penthouse in Vegas. Like, 5-star event essentially is acceptable. Anything less than 5 means that there's something wrong. But
So,
some people don't quite understand that.
What about trying to educate the guests in the printouts that are inside the properties that are like, we'd love for you to leave a review, and like just as simply as you can write it.
You actually just reminded me, James did the Airbnb guy. He wrote a template on what he gives the guests for exactly what I just said. So it'll say, if you had a good time, he'll explain each star. So like 1 star will be like, the house burnt down. 2 stars is like this. And 4 is like, there was some issues that weren't attended to, your communication was a bit poor. And then 5, the explanation is like satisfactory and above.
Yeah.
But some people think satisfactory is 4.
4, right.
And I saved that template in my phone, and I haven't actually, I've done nothing with it. But that's one thing that we need to tell guests, that if they had a good time and they'd come back, it's got to be a 5-star, not a 4.
Sick. Yeah. I think there's a lot to do with all of this like branding stuff still.
Yeah.
It's all just the business development stuff that gets pushed to the side while you're unblocking toilets.
I think having nicer touches in our amenities is a big thing, because when I had that meeting with Grant the other day, he's like, we go to New Zealand all the time, we always stay at this same place because they put out, you know, all these like extra amenities that they've got labelled themselves, like their own company label. You know, their towels aren't just average towels from Kmart, they're like proper like big king size towels, and they're comfy. He's like, we go back there every single year because they offer those extra things that other people don't. And like, you know, that kind of stuff turns into bulk more revenue if you've got return customers, because first of all, you get them return. Secondly, you get them on direct, because the second time they come, you've got their details and you get a direct booking instead of Airbnb. And it's just those kind of little touches can turn into heaps more revenue.
Yeah, 100%. And if we can create something Instagrammable, like if you have something that is shareable when someone walks in.
Shareable as in?
As in, like you said, with the wine before and the printout.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you had the chocolates or whatever, but next to the chocolates you had like something that was branded and cool enough to make it into people's photos.
Yeah. Well, when I went to... Where did I fly? When I went to Melbourne last, I had to go through Brisbane. I had to go from Brisbane. So I drove to Brisbane and stayed in an Airbnb for one night. And when I got there was a bottle of red wine with the label on it of the place, like the name of the place I stayed at, and a little welcome card. And I was like, set. I didn't have to go back down and go like, you know, get any drinks, or like I got in late, had a glass of wine, went to bed. Like just those
But they gave you that even with just a layover one night?
One night, yeah. It was a
Must have been a cheap one.
Jim does it in Surfers. He gets crates of wine from Margaret River, puts a label, Paradise, what's his called? His is called Paradise Royal, puts a label on it, and every guest gets a personalised bottle. And they love it. Like, it's got nothing to do with us. He just did that himself. So he gets them shipped over from Margaret River. He's got 30 at a time sitting in the cupboard, and the cleaner puts one out for every guest. That kind of thing would be fucking awesome to do for every property and every guest.
Put it on the list. We're creating a list while we do this.
You can get, you can buy wine in bulk and get them for, as cheap as $5 to $6 a bottle. It doesn't have to be amazing quality. They're getting it for free. They're not going to complain that the tannins aren't right. Like, if they're getting a bottle of wine for free, it's the thought more than the actual, what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, sick. What else, man?
What else? I don't know. Are we out of ideas? Do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the marketing side of it and how to kind of differentiate from the other short-term rental companies?
We don't want to give too many of our secrets away.
No, that's true.
No, obviously, this is my first sit down and chat, and I didn't want to make it about me. Obviously, we are business partners in it, and I've done my side to help generate the leads, and still got to do some stuff to try to get improvement on the direct bookings. But I didn't want to make it too much about me, because that is just marketing talk.
Oh, yeah, direct website. We could go into that next time.
Direct booking website.
Yeah, there's a lot involved in that.
Yeah. But nothing, you've pretty much figured. You can't say it all out, because there's always something to learn. There's always new kind of little tools and tips and tricks from different people. It's like the wine, that kind of stuff. But like I say, 2 years in, 2 years ago, sitting on a roof, scorching, cooking in the sun, to now chilling in Bali.
It's a pretty...
And I think it's good timing, because a month ago, less than a month, we just had a cyclone hit, and that nearly broke
that's a
Mr.
story.
Ryan.
That's a story in itself, that one.
I thought you were done.
Oh, I thought I was done. Sitting in an apartment with no power.
No power.
Phone's about to die.
Guests with no power.
No internet. And guests calling me every... You know that episode on How I Met Your Mother where Barney has that phone that keeps ringing over and over again, and he goes insane? That was me for 4 days. Full on, dude.
Yeah. But you survived, man.
Yeah, we got there. It's a big change from where it all began. Was it Burleigh? I feel like that Palmer night was Burleigh. The infamous Palmer night.
I miss those Palmer nights, because...
They're back. Callum wrote in the chat.
Oh, you went to one the other day. Yeah. Because it's good. You weren't coming to all of them, but it's good to kind of catch up with lads and just talk a bit of shit, and maybe start a business together. And
yeah, well, that group of lads,
interesting, aren't they?
It's if everyone's talking about businesses,
Yeah.
how to start up, how to make extra money, how to do side hustles. It's such a different dynamic
Environment. Yeah.
Personally, I'd rather the Palmer night where we talk about footy and surfing. But evidently,
Ryan,
it's the entrepreneur ones that got me where I am now.
Exactly. I like both. I like to talk a bit of shit and just talk about footy, but then the other side of this is why we're doing this right now. I love talking to people that are just doing something, just having a crack at doing something strange, something a little bit out there, taking a bit of a gamble. And there's a lot of that in the Palmer chat, the Palmer Club, Gold Coast Palmer Appreciation Club.
You plugging that, are you?
T-shirts on Etsy. Yeah, man. Cool. Well, if anyone ever watches this and they want to know more, we can do it again. Talk about other things. Maybe in another 6 months we'll have some of those long-term rentals to short-term rental. Maybe we'll still be here in Bali.
Maybe we'll never go home.
Maybe we'll never go home.
Are you still thinking about staying for another week? I thought about it this morning when I was half hungover and was
It's going
like...
too fast. We've been here since... When did we get here? Monday. It's Friday. Feel like we got here yesterday. We might need to extend.
I woke up this morning after our 16 fucking margaritas and was
We had a few margaritas last night.
I was like, I probably should go home on Tuesday.
But now, we are going to have some more margaritas right now.
We are going to a 6th birthday party. And there's probably going to be more margaritas involved.
A 6th birthday party. Don't sell it too much. No, we're going to a sunset view epic spot at Bingen to our good friend's daughter's 6th birthday. And then we're going to another cool spot. I've forgotten what the name is, but we're invited by the owners of this villa. And we're going to have a good time.
I actually woke up to an invitation to Surveyor this morning as well.
Who from?
Companies must find your location on Instagram, and it was from like Bali events or something. And they sent me a thing saying...
So you got marketed too?
I think so, but it was just like there's a...
Oh my God.
Sign on to here for free entry to... Because if you rock up, it's like $25 to get in.
Oh.
But they just said, here's a link if you want to go to Surveyor Night for this DJ or something. Click on this link, put your name down. Put your name down and you get free entry. But that was when I was still hungover when I read that. So at that time, I think I got out of it before I finished reading it.
Shit, we better wrap it up because we did get invited down to that spot for the 6th birthday 2 hours ago. I don't know how long 6th birthdays go for. They might be finishing up.
Imagine after the sun goes down, the kids will be done.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Dizzle. Mr. Ryan.
No worries, Mr. Sam.
Ah, nice, man.
We have exit music as well.
Alrighty, if you made it this far, thanks for listening. I'd love to hear some feedback. Obviously, it was episode number 1, but I do have a long list of people I'd love to talk to that are just in my circle of friends and friends of friends. The whole idea of this is to just have proper conversations with interesting people that are not just like small talk where I can just ask, 1 or 2 questions that I had on my mind that I'd love to speak to them about, and then see where the conversation kind of goes. So there's no real limiting factor, and that's why I've kind of come up with this name of Sam Barnes Questions Everything. Anyone that knows me knows that I genuinely do question everything about everything. Big interest in business, successful people, but obviously a bunch of other things as well. And I don't want to limit myself just to like a marketing business podcast because who knows where the conversation goes. And I think that's exciting and I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope I do get the chance to have these types of conversations with other interesting people. Thanks.